In 1836, the nation of Greece literally just sprang out of the Ottoman Empire a few years prior. After the 1821 revolution that lasted for more than a decade, Greece was officially recognized as an independent nation by the London Protocol in 1830, and in 1832, the Kingdom of Greece finished its struggle for independence. But we have yet to release the entirety of the Greek people, for in 1836, Greece only had a fraction of the Greek lands that it once possessed under the Byzantine Empire, which is why Otto von Wittelsbach will guide us to glory, and we will be restoring the Byzantines by crushing the Ottomans. Our initial situation is really not amazing. We only have 6 units and 1 lonely ship here. Technology wise, we are very behind everybody else. We do need to start by getting mandatory service and then get line infantry, because we don't even have line infantry. With the more recent patches, they've massively buffed the Ottomans and they nerfed the Greeks to the point where the Ottomans starting with the line infantry technology changes the game completely. As such, we really need to rely on the Russian Empire, with which we'll be improving relations, and the Austrian Empire. We don't have great relations with the Austrians at the start, but we start with cordial relations with the Russians, and most of the times they have protective attitude towards us, which is what they have right now. So if we play our cards right and we time it properly, once our truce is over with the Ottoman Empire in 1837, we might be able to bring the Russians in against the Ottomans. Or if that doesn't work, then we can wait until the Ottomans finish their truce with the Egyptians in 1840, and once they are at war with the Egyptians, we'll be even more likely to get either the Austrians by that point or the Russians to help us out against the Ottomans when they're already fighting the Egyptians. Until that point, we need to start getting an actual economy going. We only have 500,000 GDP, which is really nothing. Our entire nation consists of 1 shipyard, 1 urban center, and a couple of farms. That's pretty much it, really. As you would imagine, we're missing basically everything right now. We're gonna get some trade routes going with the Russian Empire to import some basic goods that we don't really have right now, and we're also gonna be queuing up a couple of logging camps for the time being in our main capital state of Athens, or Attica. We start with the Greek-Russian Union lobby as well as the Greek-British Society lobby. So by appeasing these lobbies, we also get approval for the interest groups. The reason the Greek Revolution became an independent country was because of the British getting involved alongside the Russians and some other nations, and basically bullying the Ottomans into agreeing for the Greeks to be an independent nation. Otherwise, it would not have happened, to be fair. We also have some unique journal entries like reviving the Olympic Games once we have organized sports, and the annexation of the Ionian Islands. What we need to do for that is just have nationalism researched, and we need to have good relations with the British and the Ionians. That's pretty much it. Now, in order to do that, we need to get some rivalries going, because we don't have any right now. So we're going to rival the Ottomans to get some more influence points, and we're going to rival some smaller nations around to just give a little bit of extra influence. That should be enough. That means we can now use the extra influence to improve with the Ionians. Maybe even improve with the Egyptians might not be the worst idea, though technically I also want to take Crete from the Egyptians, so this here I guess is a bit optional, really. Legislation wise, we actually have some pretty decent legislation. We have tenant farmers rather than serfdom, which is what most nations start with. We've got interventionalism. We got some type of school system, better than no type of school system. Slavery's banned. Professional army. Appointed bureaucrats. So we're honestly not that bad. Now I am using up my authority points to get social mobility and road maintenance in Attica, as well as social mobility in my secondary state. This will increase our literacy. It's going to give us more qualifications, and in the state in which we have, of course, road maintenance, it's going to make construction a little bit faster and give a little bit more infrastructure. From a government perspective, we're going to bring in the armed forces and the petite bourgeoisie into the government, because we want to change over and get the National Guards if possible. This is going to allow us to conscript a few more units. Right now, that's just 2 battalions, better than nothing. We also want to get enough relations with the Russians to get a trade agreement. This would honestly fix most of our issues, financially speaking. We cannot use an obligation, so the only thing we can do is increase the trade volume between our two nations, which will make them more inclined to accept a trade agreement, especially since they already have protective attitude towards us. We also can add some more taxes on, say, wine, services, and we can increase to very high government wages to get a bit of extra authority points, which means we end up with -8 enactment time, making this this legislation move a little bit faster if possible. Also, we're going to set up our declared interest in South Africa because we want to be pushing for Gaza. Early in the campaign, Gaza has no units, so attacking Gaza is a no-brainer because it gives us access to Transvaal, Orange, and Zulu, areas with quite a little bit of gold mines, which can really fuel our economy in the early campaign. And then after we establish ourselves in Gaza, we can also go ahead and go for Kathiri before the great powers start proclaim guaranteeing everything in the Middle East. One thing to note is we don't have any construction sectors, so we're basically using the 10 free construction that we get. We're gonna start building up some construction sectors as we go along in the campaign. After I finish my first couple of logging camps, I'm gonna build my first construction sector in Attica and then go with the tooling workshop. South African interest has been activated. Let's go ahead with this attack. Conquestus Maximus. Hope these guys don't recruit any units in the meantime, so it's basically just a free war. If we wait for even just a few months, what happens is they do start getting conscripts and actual units, so it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to actually invade Gaza afterwards. Look at that, they already started getting some conscripts actually. Luckily enough though, in the early part of the campaign, most of the great powers don't give a schnaps about the Gazans. Now if we were to attack with all 6 units, we would get 83% invasion efficiency reduction, so we're going to split up our army and we're going to get a secondary new army that we can use. I've also increased military wages to very high, which will give me a little bit of a bonus here to morale recovery, but it's not massive. There we go. We are easily winning against the enemies though, because we do have superior Greek units. And there you go. We've very quickly conquered Lorenzo Marquez. We do have our eyes set on Transvaal. At the start of the campaign, Transvaal is proclaimed guaranteed by the British. However, they almost always cancel that proclaimed guarantee. So they have 3 battalions. We have 6, however. So actually 7, because we got one from Lorenzo Marquez as well, or better yet, Gaza. Let's station our units in South Africa and declare the war on Transvaal. Coal mines, iron mines, and this is home to quite a bit of European heritage people, which will be accepted, pops, once we change our legislation to racial segregation. Petite bourgeoisie wants us to pass parliamentary republic or national guard. I'm already trying to get national guard. Please help me out with that. All right, we actually are over to ascent phase with the legislation, so that's pretty decent. What is this? Only 2 advance? Really? Oh my god, do they have line infantry? They do have line infantry. Oh, that is wild. That is actually wild. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of defending in that case. They might push me then. Imagine we start with worse units and worse technology than the freaking South Africans. Come on, game, really? Why is Paradox so much hating the Greeks, bro? All right, the fact that we went for defensive strategy at the start of the campaign means that we're gonna be winning a few battles and draining their manpower, and once the manpower is drained enough, we can start pushing into the lands of the Transvaal and win the war as consequence. There we go. We already gained 27 advance by simply winning 1 defensive battle against them. Panic retreat. Yes, that's correct. Get the schnaps out of my face, boy. All right, now let's start actually pushing into their lands ourselves. It's time to conquer this for the greater good. Humans all over the world need to know the glory of the Byzantine Empire. Once the Byzantine Empire restarts in South Africa, clearly this is the way we restore the Byzantine Empire. It has to begin in South Africa for, oh my god, I love Russia. Holy shit, we got a trade agreement with them. Oh my baby boys, we gon' get everything from the Russians. Give me wood, give me clothes, give me everything you got. Like, we've got so many goods that we need that we don't have any production of, that we're quite literally just gonna get from Russia now. And there you go, we got National Guard too. That's 4 extra battalions we got now from that particular legislation. I would like to also go for dedicated police force to get rid of the political strength of the landowners, but I also kind of want to go for landed voting. We got 50% success chance on that, so let's do that first and we can do the dedicated police force afterward. And there you go, we got Transvaal. Did they cancel their proclaimed guarantee in Orange? They did not. Okay, so they're still supporting Orange. How about Zulu? They're not supporting Zulu. Oh, it's free real estate, boys. It's free real estate. Wait, how many units do I have now? Only 1? No, at least it's a line infantry unit. I was expecting to get more units from Transvaal, to be honest. Hey, looks like we can get a defensive alliance with Russia. That's awesome. We would like to switch this over to an actual alliance, but they're not on board with that yet. Minus 45. That's mostly because of the army power projection compared to ours. So I've changed a little bit my construction queue. We're gonna do an iron mine first before we do the tooling workshop in Attica, and we're gonna do road maintenance here to make that iron mine finish a little bit faster. How much faster? That's like 5 weeks faster. That's actually a pretty big deal. We've also set up a few more trade routes, and we are in big need of tools, but it wouldn't be efficient to get more tool of trading routes right now. Hopefully we can grow the trade routes we have currently with the Russians and the British. I'm using some of my bureaucracy bureaucracy to incorporate Transvaal. It's only 5 years to incorporate Transvaal compared to the 20 years that it would take me to incorporate Lorenzo Marquez. So I'm of course gonna prioritize the easier state first. And it's time for the first war against the Ottoman Empire. A little bit late in 1838, but it's better than nothing. We can give Dobroja to the Russians, and they're gonna be joining on our side. And honestly, that's pretty much everything that we need in order to win against the Ottoman Empire. Now, our main goal is going to be return of Thessaly, but we're going to try and get more than just the return of Thessaly. We want to get at least Macedonia as well, which is a pretty big state, and it also has quite a lot of Greek population in it. That's pretty much it. We cannot get any more states. So if we win, we get 3 states, basically double in size, and we're going to have an easier time against the Ottomans in the next war as consequence. Make sure we set our units to defend. We're going to be overrun here super fast, so what we can do is just try and hold off the Ottomans for as long as possible to let the Russians do their magic and actually win the war for us. There you go. The Russians already sent 42 units to our border. Oh, I love Russia so much. They're so good as an ally, bro, as the Greeks. Come on, need my units to come here. Defend. Time to defend. Oh, this is going to be horrible. Oh, please win. Please win. They're going to change my regime if I lose. I mean, that's not the worst thing ever. Let's face it. Come on, Russia. Kick some Ottoman butts. There you go. Go, go, power. Bolsheviks. No, wait, no, they're not Bolsheviks, right? What is a Bolshevik, really, if you actually think about it? So the good part about doing this particular strategy where we use the Russians in the early phase of the campaign is that the Ottomans do have significantly weaker units than the Russians do early on. So you can easily win this war. And then if they don't do their Tanzimats, and the AI doesn't really do their Tanzimats that much, they become an unrecognized nation. So after that happens, we can essentially grab the rest of the Anatolian parts for little to no infamy, really, and then use the newfound powers to just conquer Egypt and just restore the Byzantine Empire. Not only the Byzantine Empire, but the borders of the Byzantine Empire. That's what we're going in this video for, boys. An actual viable Byzantine Empire. Hey, we got both the war goals. We got Dobroja, and we almost got all of we did get all of Thessaly. Oh my god, we're winning this. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm so hyped right now. I haven't played Greece in like so long, and it's so exciting to play as one of the underdogs again. I'm actually curious if you guys want me to do a video on what I personally think is the worst nation in the game, Sikkim. This nation starts with like 50,000 GDP, less than 100,000 pops. It's trapped between freaking British East India, Qing, and the only 2 expansion paths it has are like 20 times stronger than it. I don't even know how one would even survive as Sikkim, let alone even do anything as them. So I'm curious if you guys want me to do a video on that. I personally think Sikkim is by far the hardest nation in this game, because like even some of the OPMs in Germany, you can cheese it by forming North German Federation with the events and Schnapp, so it's not really that difficult, right? It's kind of like bait difficult, but Sikkim actually is freaking impossible. Also gonna get a furniture manufactory in Attica too right after this one, and then we're gonna get some more logging camps. Let's actually max out logging camps. This would be the queue right now, but we might change some things around. Let's see. Oh, we got a revolution for cultural exclusion. That's actually not so bad, because I kind of want to get some type of racial segregation or cultural exclusion legislation eventually, right? They want me to join the power block. Do that. Oh shit, that's really, I don't want to do that, bro. If we do join the power block of the Russians, they can basically vassalize in 5 years. I don't want to be their vassal, man. I just hope that this war finishes before that request finishes, so, you know, they don't peace out or some schnaps. All right, but yeah, this war, we essentially won. They already are losing war support, so war number 1 is in the freaking bag. I'm gonna go to very high taxation. I really don't want to collapse my economy, but it's pretty bad as it stands. Until the war is done, we got to do that. There you go, baby. Thessaly, Macedonia, Western Thrace, and we got 91% chance on landed voting. Please pass. Please freaking pass. How do you not pass at 91%, dude? Actually, how do you not pass, dude? Let's go ahead and fix our economy now. 6,000 on the minus. Why is that? Oh, I see why. It's because we have too many government administration buildings. Right. Let's go over to simple administration. That should fix a little bit of issue. And we can do one of these to filing cabinets. Or, there you go. We went from minus 6,000 to minus 1,000. Significantly better, I guess. Now we do have to incorporate these 2 states, of course, to get taxes and everything else out of them. So maybe we need to get even more filing cabinets as a consequence. That means we need more paper. Let's import paper from everybody. Austrian paper, best kind of paper, really. Now, for us to form Byzantium, we need to have 12 provinces. So we need quite a few more provinces from the Ottomans. That being said, look at the culture map mode now, guys. Greeks, most of the Greek predominant areas are under control, with the exception of course, Cyprus and Crete, which we're going to be getting from the Egyptians later down the line. The good part part is that us getting Macedonia and Western Thrace now means that we're gonna lose less Greek populations, because if this was under the Ottoman control for another 10 years, we would have lost significant amounts of Greek populations. Also, we got 23 units now because of the newly conquered lands. That's awesome. What's not awesome, though, is the fact that we're taking credit. So as a non-major power and a non-great power, taking credit is the death of your nation, because the interest is huge. We want to cut costs so we don't have that negative balance over there anymore, because I'm going to lower the government wages. I'm going to do everything I can possibly do to lower those costs. I think I'm going to have to also destroy one of the construction sectors. Yeah, there you go. Destroying that lowered my cost by 1,500, so that's going to be worth it. And I'm going to build a logging camp, because apparently wood is a massive issue, despite the fact that I'm importing quite a little bit of it from the Ottomans and the Russians and the British. It still is an issue. So yeah, wood needed, I guess, boys. The great part is that we have passive innovation gain for lathe, which is obviously required for us to get atmospheric engine afterwards. Now, as you can imagine, the Russians are stepping away from having good relations with us because we declined joining their power block, which really pissed them off. I'm going to continue to improve relations with them, and I still will try to get them to help me against the Ottomans, but that's likely not going to happen. So I'm going to have to rely on the Austrians or even the British, or really just anybody else. I mean, I'm desperate right now because the second war against the Ottomans is going to be a lot more difficult than the first one was. Paper is also a pretty massive issue for us right now, so we're going to queue up paper after the logging camp. I swear, man, this textile mill is never going to get finished here. Although we did get 3 clothing manufacturers from the Ottomans. I didn't realize that, actually. That's really not bad. That's actually not bad. That means we don't need to rush with the textile mills anymore. What we do need to rush with, though, is a port in Lorenzo Marquez, because we don't have any market access to the lands in South Africa. Hey, we got landed voting. Beautiful. Okay, so that means now we can start with the next legislation, which is going to be cultural exclusion, so we can avoid this particular revolution. And that's also going to accept everybody in Europe as our accepted culture, so that's going to be awesome. Ooh, Ottoman revolt. Oh my god, that is great news right there. Now, the revolution, what kind of domestic policies they got? They are pretty bad still, so I'm not really worried if the aristocratic revolt wins that. Fairly easy to win against Zulu, considering that most of our army is actually line infantry, and we can get all of our units to line infantry now, since we've got the technology for it too. There you go. Zululand is ours. That's a good 600,000 pops and almost 150,000 GDP. Oh, how I love seeing the Ottomans destroying themselves through multiple wars. I hope the Egyptians chip in and destroy the Ottomans too. They have no more truce, so where's the war, Egypt? You better take advantage of this and attack them, boy. Our economy is also slightly recovering, so we're gonna go down to high taxation and hopefully medium taxation in a little bit of time. The main issue we had was actually wood. We're gonna get even more logging camps to make sure we don't have any more wood issues for a while. We're also 100% relying on foreign exports for arms, so we're gonna build our own domestic arms industry in the Peloponnese. So pretty funny thing here, but because the revolution actually won in the Ottoman Empire, they changed their relation towards us and they want to be cooperative. They see us as a potential friend. What is this world? I also realized that I probably should have gone for East Thrace in the first war, which has 1.5 million pops, out of which 300,000 are Greeks. That's actually more than Western Thrace. Holy snap. Now, since we've been improving relations with the Russians, we are down to neutral now. It's not bad anymore. We don't have poor relations with them anymore. A little bit delayed, but our attack in Yemen has begun. We're going to use one lonely unit here. It should be enough. I couldn't attack a theory because it's actually... Oh no! It's not independence guaranteed by Ottomans because it's not the same Ottomans anymore. So that means Lahej also is not. Oh, I just got a free Yemen. I got a freaking free Yemen, boys. Let's go! And speaking of let's going, we got cultural exclusion. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you go racial segregation, it's actually better because they don't really have any other cultures except European heritage that would matter, since Hellenic culture doesn't have anyone else except Greeks in it, which is pretty poo-poo, but it is what it is. But I had to do it simply because of the revolution, right? So there's that. Now, that being said, dedicated police force is going to be my next go-to. It's not going to trigger a revolution because the landowners are actually pretty pretty happy with us right now. Oh, wait, we can bring somebody else into the party. Orthodox Church, sure, can do that. And we got our foothold into Yemen. Let's see if we continue to expand into Yemen everywhere. And also, I wanted to show you guys something because I know a lot of people don't know this, but every single time you conquer a province in Victoria 3, you will get for 10 years recently conquered modifier, which essentially lowers the tax collection, political strength of the pops, and also the amount of conscriptable battalions, but it has some benefits as you can see here as well. I'm only showing this because I know a lot of people are going to be like, yo, I didn't know that. And hey, if you did not know that, consider subscribing to the channel, eh? If I taught you something with this video, then I would appreciate a sub. I promise I'll teach you more stuff like that in the future and make less cringy jokes. I promise that too. All jokes aside, it actually would help me out a lot. I'd really appreciate it. So I decided I'm going to help out the Egyptians, and as reward, I'm going to be liberating Bulgaria. Why am I doing that? Well, because liberating Bulgaria means it's easier for me to conquer the Bulgarian lands from Bulgaria afterwards. Plus, it's going to weaken the Ottomans in the process too, and just overall make my life a lot easier. Now, again, we're going to use the same tactics that we used with Transvaal. We're going to let the Ottomans push into us, drain their manpower, and then we're going to push into them afterwards ourselves. We do have right now about 10 conscripts we can get, 11 conscripts we can get apparently, which is not much, but it's better than nothing really. And if anything, we can use our little 1-division army to sneakily do some naval invasions wherever they're not expecting it, to just make more fronts and make it a little bit more difficult for the Ottomans to keep everything into a cohesive war, basically. Break their cohesion, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. It's worth it, guys. Trust me, it's 100% worth it getting Bulgaria here, because Bulgaria is roughly 2 million population. Does this include Bulgaria? I'm not sure. I think it does, right? Okay, let's go ahead and push a little bit in the Ottomans too now. They haven't assigned too many units to our front because they're still primarily focusing on the Egyptians. So when they do start assigning more units here, we're going to stop pushing and we're going to go back to defending again. But right now we got 65 advantage, so we have to take advantage of it, right? Come on, boys. You got to win it. What the hell just happened? General accused of plot. Okay. Serbia's improving relations. Is that because I attacked the Ottomans? No way. That's funny. We're actually making pretty significant progress over here, guys. We pretty much got most of the border areas between us and the Ottomans and the Balkans. Whoa. Oh, I see why the Egyptians came to help us out here. Okay, that makes sense. All right, we're about to take their capital too. Come on, come on. Give me Constantinople. There you go. We got Constantinople. And it looks like the Ottomans have no manpower left, so we're basically just grinding through their units right now. I just hope that the Egyptians can hold their end of the bargain and they're not going to get pushed into the south here anymore. Come on, boys. Come on. Come on, boys. We got this war, boys, in the bag. It's ours. It's ours, everybody. Can my units actually stop teleporting for 1 second across the freaking whole map, please? Okay, it looks like they declared a rivalry on us, so they're not conciliatory anymore. The gloves are off, guys. The gloves are off. The Ottomans realize we hate their guts. We're winning this so easily. It kind of makes me a little bit too excited for the next war against the Ottomans, in which we're actually going to take lands and not just liberate nations. Look at that. They're going down. Minus 33 war support. They're losing. They're losing so fast. And we got an opportunity to get a trade agreement with the British. Okay, can we actually do that though? How far are we from getting that? Minus 17. Oh, that's so easy. We can just increase our trade volume with them and we should be Gucci after. I guess what we did here is we essentially traded the Russians for the British as our overarching Scooby-Doo friend. Okay, that is Gucci von Strombucci. Let's go with Bulgaria now. How many years we got truce? 49. So in 5 years we can attack the Bulgarians, and because they are an insignificant power, it's actually going to be less infamy for me to take their lands than it would be for me to take these lands from the Ottoman Empire, which is still a great power, right? Are they still? They're not. They're a major power now. Oh! Them losing Bulgaria was kind of like the final nail in their coffin, wasn't it? Because now it's going to be even easier for me to wipe out the Ottomans from the face of the map. Now, the Ottomans have 99 battalions, which is like 25 less than they had before because of the liberation of Bulgaria, and Bulgaria's got 10 of them. So I'm going to have to make sure that the Bulgarians do not get any sort of massive alliance with like Russia or someone of the sorts in those 5 years. And also I need to increase my own army size so I have enough troops to take on the Ottomans when the time arises. So our current situation is 18,000 national revenue, which is not amazing, but it's better than before. And we're gonna slowly increase our economy in the next few years whilst we wait to start the next war with the Ottomans. Thanks to our clout of the pro-British lobbies in Greece, we're able to get the trade agreement with the British Empire. So again, we can fix our economy, get all the trade goods that we're not producing from the British for literally no bureaucratic cost, and just overall skyrocket, making it easier for us to get ready ready for that war with the Ottomans after. I'll be honest, I've been playing it a little bit too safe this round because I'm kind of just trying to chill and take it easy. But reality is, by 1845, I should have had at least 50 construction, minimum 50 construction. So I haven't really been playing as optimal as I should have. Unfortunately, it seems like Prussia is once more losing the leadership war against Austria since the Russians joined on the side of the Austrians, which begs me to say once more that I really hope Paradox is actually going to do something about this, because I have not seen the AI form Germany unless it's the Austrians forming Germany, which is kind of poo-poo. Russia really needs to get a little bit of a buff, in my opinion. Just my opinion, though. I'm curious what you guys think about it. We're taking a step back here and we're going for racial segregation to get the 50 extra authority, and of course the accepted pops stay identical as I explained earlier. Plus we got quite a little bit of support for this, so it's also going to make people a little bit more happier if we go for racial segregation. With the conquest of the Casamid state, we pretty much have the entirety of Yemen. We just need a little bit of a strip from Hejaz that we'll take whenever we attack the Egyptians, and we also can finally attack Orange since the British decided not to give a schnaps about what happens to them. Let's see how long until we can attack these guys now. End of the year. Okay, I really hope I can get someone to support me in this, because otherwise this is going to be tough. This is going to be a real toughie. On the bright side, the gold mines in Orange will also help out. Let me see, did they already get them? They got 6 gold mines here. Oh yes, baby. 10 gold fields as well, which is giving 5,500 pounds minted, which is insane. So of course we're going to be incorporating this state, obviously. Also, because our economy is doing super well now because of the extra gold mines, we can increase our construction sectors too. So I'm going to get, say, 2 more construction sectors over in the Peloponnese. So I've been going through the achievements, and apparently there's nothing about forming Byzantium as Greece. That's honestly a little bit of an oversight from Paradox, if you ask me. Because reality is, you should be able to get an achievement once you form Byzantium. It's not super difficult, but still, it's a cool thing, right? What about all the Byzantina boosts? Have you even thought about that, Paradox? Now, in our situation here, we're doing super good, actually, guys. Let me show you my economics. We got 44,000, and we're honestly not that bad off. I haven't taken any loans. I'm intentionally trying to stay below the threshold so I don't take too many loans, at least until I become a major power. The Ottomans are literally about to go to war with the Egyptians, and once that starts, I'm going to be attacking them because I am going to be able to get the Austrians to help me out against the Ottomans. Problem is, though, that Bulgaria has really great relations with me, and I forgot to decrease said relation, so I'm going to need to wait a little bit before I can actually attack them, unfortunately. Oh, look at that. They're actually losing against the Egyptians. This is on. Do I even need to bring the Austrians? That's the real question now. Now, one thing we can do in order to become a major power is increase our government spending to very high military wages and medium government wages, which means we're going to get more prestige. So instead of having 89 prestige, we're going to have 121. So we became the 10th major power, really, for the time being. And what do you know? We also got the Austrians on our side. So this is pretty much an easy war right now. Really love the Balkan diplomatics where everybody hates the Ottomans, basically. Luckily for us, the Ottomans are busy with the Mamluks too, so it's honestly a piece of cake right now. Watch this. Our own units are wiping the floor with the Ottoman troops, not even counting the help from the Austrians themselves too. Great news, we got agrarianism, and that also completed our government petition, so it made the landowners even happier now. And look at that, Anatolia under control of the great Byzantines, soon to be, technically not yet Byzantines, but we're working on it, don't worry. Hallelujah, boys. A great day for old Greekdom. Look at the map. Look how beautiful we are. We're literally half of the Byzantine Empire. We still need to get the rest of Anatolia, but we do have quite a bit of infamy, and we have to fix our overall situation now. So let's start by incorporating these states that we just conquered from the Ottomans. And it does seem like we have a little bit more government administration buildings than we actually need, doesn't it? So now for us to form Byzantium, we just need 4 more provinces, Albania, and 2 provinces from the Bulgarians, as well as the Ionian island, which we just need to research nationalism for. Plus, we're now the 8th greatest power in the world, so we're even closer to beating the Ottomans. Wait, what? The Ottomans are below us? They're the 10th? They got 3 million GDP left, and we got 8.5. It's honestly just over. It's actually freaking over for the Ottomans. And look at that. Egypt is an unrecognized major power, so I can take Crete, I can take Cyprus, I can take Adana from them for little to no infamy right now. I've got 68 98, but I'm still confident I can pile up a little bit more without issues. And I'm gonna attack them now before anybody else decides to attack them because they're pretty weak. Oh, but it gets better. We can even call in the two Sicilies to help us out against the Egyptians. Wait, Tripoli is their subject? Not anymore. Okay, we got a successful naval invasion. Now we have to defend until the rest of our units arrive here so we can actually grab this foothold. There you go. Our units have arrived. 5 days, and we got it, boys. Now let's set everybody to defend. Make sure we grind down the Egyptian units and also raise the conscripts. I kind of forgot to do that. I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to trigger the corn laws so we can get the market liberal and we can have an easier time with homesteading. Right now, the landowners are the only ones opposing homesteading, so once we get the modern conservative in charge of the political party, it shouldn't be any issue. Hey, look at that. We got a lobby opportunity to get a defensive alliance with Russia. Oh, that is actually perfect. That means they're 15 away from accepting that. Oh, we're so close. We're so freaking close. It's because of infamy. We got too much infamy. We have to wait before we can get this. That's kind of pepega. Also, the issue is that we have not gotten the market liberal yet. Where's my market liberal, man? We haven't gotten them yet. Because of that, I have to cancel freaking homesteading, dude. If I don't cancel it now, it's gonna lead to complete collapse of my country. This is so poo-poo, honestly. And now I get them. Are you freaking kidding me right now? I got the market liberal literally a month after I canceled the homesteading. Dude, no, dude. Come on, game. Congratulations, Pavlos. You get to be the new leader of the landlords, you scumbag. Holy snaps, man. Look at that. We got a revolution start as soon as we enforce our demands. Now let's go ahead and improve with our brand new vassal, Monsieur Tripolitania, soon to be Byzantine North Africa. All right, we're doing pretty decent with our economy too. I think it's time we start to properly expand a little bit our construction sectors. And also, we need to get some fertilizer plants and some steel mills because we do have some tooling workshops so we could use steel for. But of course, priority number one still remains the gold mines in Transvaal, which is quite literally free money right now. We switch all of our construction sectors to iron frame building. We end up with 63 construction, but we do end up with some massive shortages of iron. So let's get some more from whoever we can. Tuscany, France, Spain, anyone that has some iron they don't need, we will be taking it. Thank you very much. Also, since we've built these gold mines in Restad, not Transvaal actually, and we've done the road maintenance, violence suppression decrees in here, we basically have no more turmoil, or we don't actually have any turmoil that is applied in any case, because check it out, we're actually gaining construction efficiency from having those reductions. Oh lol, Serbia and Circassia are gonna be helping out the Bulgarians. Ooh, whatever am I gonna be doing here, boys? What am I gonna do? I'm so scared. Ludi just casually disrespecting his Serbian viewers, clearly. Wait, what? What made them change their opinion of us? Oh, I think it's because they got genial attitude towards us. That's why, because we were unamicable before, so this is a big deal. All right, so that means the defensive alliance is going to be done, which in essence means we're going to get the regular alliance eventually with the Russians back. So I've been a little bit of a cheeseball, and whilst the Bulgarians, Serbians, and the Circassians were fighting me on the front line, I did a cheesy little naval invasion into Bulgaria, thus basically conquering the northern parts of Bulgaria without even having to have a fight for it, because their entire army was in the south. And I'm also going to do the same with Circassia to get them out of the war. They only have 5 units in their home center, which should be an easy pick for me. There we go. We got pretty much the entirety of Bulgaria now. Skibbity boo, skibbity bay, get the schnapps out of my face, Bulgaria. And we got what we wanted to take from them. Now we do have 95 infamy. As you would imagine, 95 infamy is extremely bad. So we're not going to be expanding at all until the truce with the Ottomans is over and we go down to about, I don't know, 70 infamy. Now no, actually we need less than 70 infamy to be fair. That means we're only going to be doing economic gameplay for the next few years. Colonize Africa, improve our African holdings, improve our situation in the Balkans and Anatolia, because we do have a lot of lands, but we barely just conquered these lands and we really need to properly consolidate our holds and have a decent economy, because we don't want to just become the Byzantine Empire. We want to become the greatest Byzantine Empire in Victoria 3. And for those wondering, the reason I stopped at 95 infamy is because if you reach 100 infamy in the game, then the great powers will attack you with the cut down to size CB, which essentially makes you release provinces that you conquered in the past 5 years, I think it is. So yeah, we don't want that. We want to avoid the great powers getting a free. This is essentially like an EU4, a coalition when you reach 50 aggressive expansion with neighbors, right? The limit is 100 infamy in Victoria 3, but it's still there. there, and we need to avoid it. So I've queued up quite a few fishing wharfs for two reasons. First off, these are really easy to build. It's only 200 construction, and I've queued them up in the areas where we have a lot of unemployed individuals, especially the newly conquered areas, and a lot of turmoil. So this is a good way of fighting turmoil by giving jobs to people and keeping their minds off of the fact that they just basically got conquered by us, although the infamy will keep doing that. We get 50% radicals from conquest. Fishing wharfs also being super easy to build and giving those jobs also will improve our economy. Plus, we do have some massive shortage of fish right now, including lard, as well as wood and iron. So I'm gonna do wood right after the fish because again, it's really fast building these particular buildings, and there's a lot of unemployed people in all of these newly conquered lands. Okay, we've increased our construction sectors to 80 construction now, and we can start queuing up some war industries. We need at least one more arms industry done. We're gonna do it in Peloponnese, and we have quite a little bit of artillery foundry. We actually have 5 of them. I don't actually know why the shit we have 4 built in Yemen. Since we have so many, I am going to put them to good use. So I'm gonna start hiring some artillery units because we don't have that many artillery brigades. Who would have thought this little Schnappeldorf in the south of the Balkans is going to be as strong as it is right now in just what, 20 years since the start date, which is wild. And even better news, we managed to get a homesteading so we can start getting some other good legislation, including public health insurance once we research pharmaceuticals, or we can go for charity hospitals now. I think I'm going to wait for public health insurance act. Holy snaps, we actually can go for laissez-faire, my brother. That is Jover. Oh god, if we get laissez-faire, we're a great power. When did this happen? Dude, oh my god, brother. Oh my freaking Schnappeldorp. We are the 7th great power, meaning once we get laissez-faire as well, we essentially don't need to worry about interest at all, so we can start to properly take advantage of the loan meta and start building like crazy. Because as you guys know, great powers get minus 50% loan interest rate together with the minus 25 from the loan interest rate of laissez-faire means minus 75% loan interest rate. And then we also have banking, minus 2% loan interest rate, central banking as well, mutual funds as well, and eventually even international exchange standards. So more or less, we're going to pay less than 10% actual interest. Also, I just realized I forgot to build my universities, so I kind of need to rush and get some universities going because I'm pretty freaking backwards. We only have 2 freaking universities. That is really no bueno. That's actually a massive issue right now, not gonna lie. I'm gonna get 1 university in every single state, and then probably Thessaly, I'm gonna make like 5 to 10 universities now, just so I can reach my innovation cap, which is 99. It's actually not that high right now. But the reason I'm dispersing and I'm building in every state is because I want to get qualifications and every single state, not just in Thessaly, obviously. Nationalism unlocked, which gave us the Greek state event, which is gonna give us a claim on the Aegean Islands, or we get relations with the Ottomans. Obviously, we're not gonna care a schnaps about the relations with the Ottomans. Now, that being said, those claims could have been on more than just the Aegean Islands if we had the other lands unoccupied by this point. And I know what some of you thinking, Ludi, why didn't you just rush for nationalism? Don't get me wrong, rushing for nationalism is not a bad idea, but you would waste a lot of other technologies that you could use. Like we rushed basically for water tube boilers, which allowed us to industrialize or semi-industrialize early on. Now we are fully industrialized though, and just overall allowed us to build up our economy. Sure, we got a lot of extra infamy. We're still at 79 infamy now, but it's not the end of the world getting that infamy. Oh, actually, let me just do something as well. Annex the Ionian Islands, a most agreeable solution, and we got 1 more province completely occupied, meaning we now just need 2 more states in order to form Byzantium, Albania, and the last province of the Aegean here that is under the control of the Ottomans. Oh my god, it's only 2.4 infamy to take the Aegean and 20 freaking 8 to take Albania. What the shit, man? Actually, that's about 100. I think if I wait for a couple more months, then we can attack the Ottomans too. Oh my god, I'm ready. I'm ready to be a billionaire, because this also means we're gonna turn all of our current factories from nationally owned to privatized. So our reserves are gonna absolutely skyrocket right now. That means it's time for me to expand my construction sectors by quite a lot. And I'm also gonna do the gold consortium, since I've got a lot of gold mines in South Africa that would actually improve quite a lot, since we get the throughput bonus, the construction bonus, and also the minting and loyalists. Plus we can build some more, so that construction bonus is really going to be coming in handy here. Let's see, we can do 1 more in Northern Cape and 5 more in Vriestad. Holy snaps, we got to bring that up at the top of the queue, boys. We already maxed out our gold reserves, 2.94 million gold reserves, because of the buildings we basically instantly sold. Another thing I just realized is is I don't need to talk the Ottomans now for 28 infamy on Albania. If I wait for 5 years more, they're gonna fail the Tanzimats, so then they're gonna be an unrecognized nation. So then it's gonna be super cheap for me to take all of Anatolia and Albania. And would you look at that, we completed the corn laws by going for the free trade law. And we're also going to be attempting to go for freedom of conscience, simply so we can switch over to public education. We cannot do that right now because we still have state religion active as our legislation. 1866, and we are once more at war with the Ottomans. They have, as expected, become an unrecognized regional power because it was basically impossible for them to actually do their Tanzimats. This is a fairly easy war, but we got to be careful. We're now back up to 99 infamy after we lowered the autonomy level of Tripolitania once more. So we're kind of playing with fire over here, and we really need to be very careful because if we go over one more, we're screwed. We're really royally screwed. But once this war is done with the Ottomans, and it should be done any moment now, we're gonna have double the amount of provinces, but it kind of does mean we cannot expand for quite a few years, or we're just gonna piss off everybody and their mamas, essentially. Looks like also I need to build some furniture industry around my country. I like to have at least one furniture manufactory and one textile mill in every single province, aside from the area in which I will properly start building a lot of them. In my case, I think I'm going to build those in Eastern Thrace because I got a decent amount of population over there. Also, I want to point out that it's really vital when you're doing a lot of expansion that you have over 100% excess influence, which is going to lower your infamy by 25% faster. So, and there you go, boys. The Greeks are back in town, and by back in town, I mean we are essentially on the road to make Byzantium great again. Let's go ahead over here. Cultures, form nations, Byzantium. Let me take a screenshot for the thumbnail. And with the simple click of a button, Rome has risen once more. We get claims on a ton of provinces, as well as for 19 years, we get 25 flat prestige. With this, we'll be able to reconquer the entirety of the Balkans fairly easy now. Look at that. Only 8.3 infamy to take Bulgaria state itself, which would otherwise be 20-something infamy. Now, of course, we're going to be making incorporated states out of the newly conquered provinces. These are, after all, proper Roman states. And more importantly, it's time for us to change the production methods now too. So we've got a pretty stable economy now. We've got all of the basic industries going. We've got a decent amount of raw materials. So we're going to be queuing up for the next few months some universities, because we have increased our university innovation cap to 114, and we need to reach that now. We've also failed to pass freedom of conscience, so I'm attempting total separation, which is likely going to fail as well because it's even harder to pass this one. And of course, again, 2 setbacks in the first 2 ticks. Yeah, that says it all, honestly. Let's go ahead with the return state interaction on the Ottomans. Ooh, Persia's supporting them now. That actually is juicy because we might be able to get some Persian stuff too. Let's see. We got claims on all of Anatolia? No way, man. So I didn't need to take Konya Ankara. I could have gotten claim on... Oh, okay, that's a mistake then. I feel like I shouldn't have taken that much until I formed Byzantium, simply so I can get the claims afterwards on that bit. That was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake on my side. Yep, I mean, I'm literally taking essentially all of what's left of the Ottomans in this one war, with the exception of Bosnia. So the Ottomans are going to become Bosnia after this war. Institution-wise, we're a little bit behind, guys. We only have level 2 education, unfortunately, but we got level 4 health system, which is really not bad, I guess. Level 2 home affairs as well. We do have to switch home affairs to secret police so we can advance another 2 max home affair institution levels. Okay, boys, time to go with the war ski. Attackius Maximus, for the glory of Rome. Take it back. Take it all back. We need to see the Romans once more revived in Victoria 3. I have to say, this is probably the most fun I've had in Vicky 3 in a while. Like, we started as a semi-underdog here. Realistically, there's other nations that are bigger underdogs. Like, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but Sikkim is probably the hardest nation in this game. And then you also have, like, Circassia and shit. Actually, maybe I could do a Circassia video. Let's see if we get 5,000 likes on this video. I will do a Circassia run, because that's going to be tough. And we can do the achievement. There's an achievement for Circassia I would actually like to have. I also absolutely love seeing the color colors of Byzantium over Ottoman lands here. Revenge for Manzikert, you scumbags. Quite a little bit later, but it's fine, okay? Come on. Got to win this quickly, because I also want to attack the Egyptians to take some stuff back from them too. There you go, boys. We got a buttload of lands back from the Otto broskis. We are essentially the Byzantine Empire already. We are literally the Byzantines right now. So now the question is, do I attack for reconquest Bulgaria, or do I attack the Egyptians? Because they're also an unrecognized nation, so it's not that much. Wait, they are still one, right? Wait, what? They're part of the Russian Empire? They're protect. What? When? How? Oh, that is horrible. That is actually horrible, dude. Guess we don't really need Egypt, guys. Come on. Egypt was never really a part of the Byzantine Empire. We'll just take Bulgaria. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to also hit that subscribe button to get notified when I release more videos like these in the future. And until the next time, I love you all. Take care of yourselves.